Good morning, everyone. This is Bill Thornton, SoCalSabre. This morning we're going to take a look at Silent Victory, GMT game, solo sub game, designed by Gregory M. Smith, and we're going to see what's inside the box. Okay, on the back, this is what it says. Silent Victory, U.S. submarines in the Pacific, 1941 and 45, is a solitaire tactical level game placing you in command of an American submarine during World War II in the Pacific. Your mission is to destroy as much Japanese shipping and as many warships as possible while advancing your crew's quality and decorations. You will find it challenging to survive an entire tour from 41 to 45 while taking enough chances to win promotions and medals while avoiding relief from command. So this is pretty cool. It looks pretty interesting. I have not played this game. I have played another by Gregory Smith called Raiders of the Deep, and I'm sure that the mechanics are about the same, but we'll see if I can ever get the box open. There we go. That's why I take the foil off ahead of time. I always fumble around with those things. Okay, there's the rule book here. Let's see what we got here. Okay, we got the beginning of the game showing us different markings on the different counters and what they're used for. More pictures of your different type of sub charts. And so it's in 3 columns. This is not a this looks like the same design as, almost the same design as Raiders of the Deep. And it's in 3 columns. It looks like a lot, but it's really not a difficult game. You know, you should be able to pick this up rapidly, fairly rapidly. The on the back, what I really like is an index. And a couple things from the charts that are used a lot. It says 28 pages, but really designer's notes and optional things and historical scenarios or optional rules and scenarios, 2-player tonnage and so forth. Yeah, you're looking probably 20. Not bad at all. Having a hard time with this setup this morning. Okay, these are your counters for the ships that you're after. There are warships out there and destroyers on here and large freighters and small freighters and all kinds of different ones that you may encounter while you're on tour doing one of your patrols during the game. There's a system where you roll the dice when you're at a certain area in your patrol, and it tells you whether you encountered something, and then say you encountered a warship, then there's another roll, and then you can actually find out exactly which warship you encountered. These are using the historical names of ships that were involved in or involved in fights with submarines in the Pacific or were sunk by submarines in the Pacific. So that's pretty cool. Get a little bit of realism. It's a very thematic game. No, not a lot of decision, but there are decisions in it, and there's a dice rolling and so forth. But you'll enjoy the stress of trying to get through there. Here's your counters. You have your different types of torpedoes that were used during the war. In the early days of the war, there were a lot of duds, so that gets a little frustrating when you're rolling duds. Then you got over here, you got your for light wounds and small wounds and severe wounds and killed in action things to track your damage on your ship and so forth. And here's some medals that you get. And then these are some real life character names that I'll get to in a little bit. I'm sure there's cards in here if it's anything like the other games. And then on the back, we have different type of torpedoes, electric torpedoes and so forth. So got a good variance, and you decide when to shoot. So there's a decision how far out you want to shoot from. You want to attack from short range, medium range, long range. Depending on whether you want to be surfaced or submerged. So there are decisions to make. And if it's anything like me, I make a lot of wrong ones during this game. So here we got sub charts. I'll open this baby up. It's got to be opened anyway. These are your different types of submarines. So we'll get this in here so you can see. So you can see there's porpoise, salmon, gato class, gar class, and Argonaut, and there's some on the back. And during the game, you'll be tracking. There's two ways you'll be doing. This is your missions. There's a dice roll at the beginning of your patrol. Where you're going to be going. These are the locations, and these are places along your mission. You'll roll a dice, and you'll be in the transit section. And in the transit section, normally you got to roll a 2 or a 12, and you might encounter something. But then another transit. But then as you start getting in these sections, you might have to roll. If you roll a 2, a 12, a 6, and 8, depending on what it was, the more numbers that are targeted, you can hit more things. And so that's how you track. You can track line. Here's how you damage on this line right here. You can damage your hull damage, your flooding damage. This is where you put your torpedoes, your deck guns, ammo, your aft torpedoes, and some other things for tracking and so forth. And so that's it's the same on every one of these. And it's a big aid. And actually, this you could probably play the game with this and another chart I'm going to show you. It's a very small footprint, so that really helps, especially if you don't have a lot of room, like I don't have this morning. I got to do something about this crowding. Okay. Then we have some charts. I'll bust this one open too. Oh man, I get weak. I can't even roll it up paper. Yeah. Okay. You got charts like when I was saying when you're going to roll, and when you roll the dice, and up here in the top patrol assignment there, Australia boats, and where you're going to be working out in this game. You can be working out of Hawaii or Australia. And then down here you got some charts that you'll roll on if you encounter aircraft, or if there's an attack versus an aircraft, and so forth. And there goes the box lid. Okay, and then you got these are for torpedo and deck actions. That got about a charge. It's not complicated. It's pretty self-explanatory as you're going along on these charts. This is the chart here where if you rolled and it says, okay, you encountered a small freighter, then you will roll again. And then whatever the number was, you're using the percentile dice, you go there and it'll tell you exactly what ship to go get. How you go get the ship and you put it on your board you're there before, and it tells you the tonnage of that ship that you'll be attacking or trying to attack. And here's one for large freighters. And this is the patrol one from the patrol assignments for Pearl Harbor. That other one was for Australia. And this is the other chart you'll be using. The second chart. You can only have to use this one. This one is really cool. It's self-explanatory. This is your combat chart. When you come across an encounter, you find out what you're going up against. You put it on your charts here, and then you start rolling your die. You put it here whether it's a sub versus sub and the air attack, and whether it's ships that are being escorted or wolf packs, and then you start your combat. And this here explains your whole combat right here on the chart. So this and the other one that I showed you about how to keep up with your damage are really the only two that you need on here. But more people want those. This is new to me. This is cool. All right, this is another chart. I showed you how you can track on your other chart what's your mission, where you're going, and everything. This is actually a mission, and this one is out of Australia. So you draw your missions, and then you can move your chit along here, and you're actually getting a visual of where you are in the Pacific during that time. So give you a little bit more thematic feel to the game. And this is your Pearl Harbor. There's actually, I saw one on the back here. What is this? Okay, there's 2 ports in Australia that you can be working out of, and then Pearl Harbor. There's a big pack of patrol logs, and then these here, it starts in December of 41, and it goes to July 45. And you'll go and you patrol the number, and then the targets that you encounter, whether you sunk them and so forth like that. And at the end of your patrol, then you put your totals over here, and whether it was a successful patrol or whether you failed the patrol. And then there's other charts that tell you how successful and everything. If you ever run out of these, I guess you could go to GMT's website. I'm sure that they have these for a single download. Then the other thing that goes along with this game is pretty cool. Let's open this one up too. These are commander cards where you can play a campaign. Okay, for example, this is Lieutenant Commander Richard H.O.K. These are real names that worked there, and they tell you when he came into the war, when he left, what type of thing he had, or what kind of ship he had, and if he had any special attributes. Maybe he was a great thinker at sub versus sub or so forth. And then as you play the campaign, then you can go to the back and you see if you did better than he did in the back by the number of missions and the tonnage sunk and the medals earned. And there's, let's see what we got. 8 of these guys here. So you got lots of variability in playing that. And then the dice come with the game. Looks like there's 1 D20, 2 D10s, and 3 D6s. So that was Silent Victory. I hope if you liked what you saw, that you'll hit the like button. Subscribe if you want to hear some more from me. Send me some remarks. Let me know if there's something else that you would like to see. And until then, thank you for watching. Be kind to each other and stay safe.